What's up guys, Daniel here from the Crosslink channel. This time is a little bit of an unusual place to make a video. This is my place where I usually cut my videos and I do the sound editing and all the rest to finish the video, uploading it to YouTube and preparing it for release. And I thought it would be a good place to celebrate and share with you that this is actually the first year on YouTube. So in fact, this video is actually released 1 year after I started this channel, and I think it would be a good reason to celebrate this because when I started I had some other thoughts and probably some other ideas than where this actually landed by today. And I have made a list of things that I wanted to share with you. And the first thing is, why did I start with this YouTube channel in the very first place? The reason was really I wanted to do some films, like I wanted to make movies and videos, so to say. Doesn't matter how you define this, but I'd say these are little pieces of content that I wanted to create and share with the world. I was doing this already on a regular basis for friends and family, but I never went public with my own work. So it was always like friends who requested to do something, and I think the only thing that actually went public from the things that I did in the past was sort of a dancing group video that I did, and it was not that professional yet at that time, but I'd say it was always a big passion of mine to make videos. And that was the first reason I wanted to do YouTube, because I saw all this great content and I consumed that content, and I thought maybe I can give something back to this community by sharing my thoughts. It was like sort of a creative outlet for me to try out stuff. And that when we come to that, in the beginning I actually tried out many different things, as you might have seen. If you go back in the history of my channel videos, you might wanna probably you're gonna laugh a little bit and cringe. So looking back when I started, which content I actually created, the point is I didn't have that kind of a long-term plan yet, because I just wanted to get started and make some videos. And I was looking for topics, and there was a few topics around that I was interested in. Like I did some crafting, I did drones, and also 3D printing, and I had so many more ideas. And so also I had the idea of making product reviews, which was a bad idea, obviously, because there's so many good channels doing product reviews that the world doesn't need another product review channel. But what actually the world needed was a channel where you can come and find guidance for using specific products like the A8, which was my first focus area, how to use it and how to really be more successful in using it. And I sort of over the time got into the idea, okay, this might be something worth going deeper instead of going broad. So at some point I realized, okay, I can't make videos about product reviews, drones, 3D printing and other stuff, because that will be a variety channel instead of being a focus channel. What kept me going, because the first 10 to 13 videos actually didn't get any views or almost no views. You can imagine if somebody makes 10 or 13 videos on YouTube and he gets almost 0 views, not to stop making videos is actually quite hard. And what kept me going was that a few of you guys, a few of the first viewers of these videos, especially the A8 specific ones, really commented and said, this is actually good content, keep doing that. And I think that was, even though it was just very few people telling me that this is actually valuable content and you like that content, that was what kept me going and making more videos for you. And here we are, 46 videos in for the first year, and the channel is quite successful, but that's like today. But when I started, as I said, it wasn't that easy, it wasn't that obvious that anything of that what I made would really gain traction. In fact, the first video in the list of my channel where I can see the success of every single video, the most successful video with the most views was actually one of the first videos that I made on a channel, and that got almost 0 views in the first months or so. Really, a few months later, it started picking up views, but it was like, is this anything worth doing? I kept going and I wanted to increase the level of professionalism, be it getting better in doing videos in a shorter amount of time, because one of the first videos I did, I probably took 8 to 10 hours to make that video, which is like a crazy amount of time for a video that's just 10 minutes long. But I got better on that and I tried to optimize on that. And then the next thing was like get more consistent in timing your videos, make more content in advance to be able to release it on time. I think I struggled a bit in the last year with that. I had some weeks where I couldn't make a video, so that's why I made 46 videos instead of 52 videos. But I'm getting better. I'm getting faster making videos and getting faster editing the videos. I think that was one key factor that I learned in the last year. Then the next thing is, I also was thinking about the target audience a lot. Like, who are the people watching these videos and what I'm trying to achieve by making these videos. And you can imagine if you document your own story like I did, like making an ANET A8 work and getting better and better at doing that, you are growing on that topic and you're getting better on the topic and you get more expertise on the topic. But the audience is something completely different. You make a video for an audience that is probably new and in a beginner state, and these are the people interested in watching your videos. And I think one mistake would be to assume that I could now make videos because I am more advanced, that I could target an audience that is also more advanced. And I don't want to do that because first, there is channels out there who target like more professional 3D printing, and there is also the point that you have this kind of a funnel of people, like you have this very broad audience of people who are just starting out, and then the more time passes, the less people actually stay with this hobby and the less people actually are potentially watching your videos. And so I can see that a lot of channels that I've watched in the past have gone, if they continue to make videos, they have gone through this process of like starting with the beginners content and then getting more and more professional and targeting more and more advanced topics, which are also more complicated, and also targeting a smaller audience, to be honest. And I want to avoid that because I think it's better to make content for beginners because there's actually more people starting and more people interested in watching this kind of videos. And me personally, what I can improve on a lot still is making and explaining things in a better way for beginners, because I think I'm not done on that level. I'm not done learning how to explain things in a good way, how to make concise videos and be on the point and like stick with a topic for a longer term, instead of trying to do more and more fancy stuff, which at some point nobody's going to be interested in anymore. So that on that topic, that was it on this point. So it's going to be, this channel is going to stay for, like I say, beginner to intermediate level in terms of 3D printing topics. Then the next thing, I also try to simplify, because in the beginning I was thinking like I need a fancy channel trailer, I need some intro, I wanted to have this video bumper, and I think it worked, but also people told me that it's a little bit distracting and too long. So I decided at some point in this year like to make things much shorter and really to make the introduction very much to the point, and also reduce the length of the introduction to just 2 seconds or so. So the point is really that I wanted to make it easier for you to start watching the video and not having to wait for the actual start of the video. A little bit about monetization and how I fund this channel. This is actually a topic that keeps me thinking a lot. So monetization on YouTube started around 1,000 subscribers, and that was like when that was around at the end of the year 2018. So it was like 5 to 6 months into making the first videos. I started getting some monetization revenue, not much, but it's actually at least it helps me buying stuff, but it's really a very small amount. So around about 30 to 40 euros every month, up to the point today. So you can imagine like this is not easy to buy expensive printers all the time and buy expensive gear all the time from that kind of a small amount of money. And I was thinking, others are doing Patreon campaigns, so maybe I could start making a Patreon campaign and convince people to donate a monthly amount, like $2, every month to help me buying stuff and making videos about that. But that didn't work out so well. Up to the point today, I have 2 patrons on my Patreon campaign, and simply said, it's not enough to fund anything large. But I'm still thankful for these 2 people to fund me. But I wish that at some point in the future, maybe more people will realize that this costs not only time, but it's really expensive to buy gear, buy parts that you want to test, and also filament and all the stuff around that. And to get better in making videos, you also need some better equipment. Obviously, you want to have some better sound, you want to have a good camera and all that stuff. And that's everything that I've bought up to the point like I had to fund on my own, and it's still a hobby. So, and that said, some people comment in my videos like, yeah, you only made 1 video a week, or you didn't make a video for 2 weeks now. Well, the point is really, I have a real life, I have a main job, and that main job is more important than anything else, obviously. And the videos that I really do on my spare time, in the evenings, at night, when my children are in bed and everyone is sleeping in the house. And so that's the point. It's not easy to be consistent with every week making a video, getting it done, getting some interesting topic done, and cutting it and then pushing it out to YouTube, and then following the community, commenting on the videos, building a community. That's also consuming some time. And so that's the point about being a YouTuber in your spare time. It's not that easy than maybe people who are already on a state where they can live from that. So that's not the case for me. And it's also not that kind of a short-term plan for me. Let's talk about topics for next year, or let's say the year that just started. So I'd say season 2 of this channel is gonna be not that much different from season 1, I'd say. I have some changes that I want to do. But first and foremost, I want to stay focused on the topics that I do. I'm not going to branch out too much into other topics, but I'm going to stay focused on 3D printing and probably the ANIT A8 and the Ender 3 and maybe another printer, but that's going to be it for this year. To focus on these devices, there's loads of topics that I can cover still, just focusing on these few amounts of printers. I still want to follow some of the trends out there, of course, but that's not gonna change the main focus. And the other thing that I never did on this channel, but I saw some requests on the comment sections of the videos, is really to do some videos about how to actually take parts and modify them, be it in Tinkercad or Fusion 360 or other tools, to make them like adapt parts to parts that exist, and to merge parts, and also to create completely new parts from scratch. And the first video that I'm going to do is like a project that I did on my own, which was a teleprompter project, but that's going to be like sort of the entrance to that topic area, how I did that. And I also want to document more what I'm doing, instead of trying to find topics that I personally maybe not that much into, but people request me to do. I'm still going to do that, but I also want to document more what I'm actually doing in terms of projects that I do, be it electronics combined with 3D printed parts, and some of like the repair things that I do when I print something as a replacement part for a broken part. Even though if that's just more a documentary on what I did, and not so much in depth of like step by step and end to end how to, but more to show you, okay, what's possible and what's the path from A to B, but we kind of can go deeper in maybe in the future and say, okay, now I've shown you how in general I did this, but to do that on your own, you need like to know about Fusion 360 and all the details in making actually these objects. Probably about 3D scanning, that was always on my list, never managed to do that in the last year. I'm very much interested in getting deeper into the topic of 3D scanning. Actually, I have a Kinect here, which I can use for that, and to compare it with other types of scanning. Also got the older Kinect, so we have lots of things to compare. We can use cameras, we can use laser scanners, we can use other devices, photogrammetry, for example. There's a lot of topics about 3D scanning and I want to discover that. But I actually need to learn more about it in this year. And maybe some reviews of products, not many, because I committed to doing a review for a filament that I'm going to release soon, but the point is I never finished it on time. And I don't want to put myself under pressure by accepting review requests from companies at this point of time, because that puts myself under pressure to make these videos and to be on time when I might have some private topics that are on a higher priority. I'm gonna prioritize those reviews down, and that's not what you want to do. Is if someone wants to do a review and he sends you free stuff, I think there's sort of this commitment that you have to follow through. Also, one thing that I wish I could have done, but I'm probably not right there because I'm getting more comfortable in front of the camera, is to be more entertaining and maybe to sprinkle in a few entertaining sequences into my videos. I'm thinking about how I could do that to make things a little bit more entertaining, still being the educational channel that covers mostly like the facts and the deep dives, but also being a little bit more entertaining. This could be by making more interesting sequences of things getting printed with sort of a different kind of time lapse. Actually, the documentation of real products could be more entertaining at some point because things might fail, and I want to document also the failures, not only the step-by-step how to make it perfect, but also what happened in the journey. I think that's it from my list. If you have other ideas, if you have suggestions what I could do better, what you would do better and different, and what kind of topics you would like to see covered, please suggest in the comment section. I'm going to take this into account. I always did in the past. I always reacted to your comments and tried to make videos based on what you requested, but it's going to be also more maybe you can suggest some project that you think is interesting on Thingiverse for me to try out and print out. That's it for today, and I hope to see you soon on this channel. Bye bye.